Marcella Flood, Head of Digital Transformation for Allianz, thank you very much for joining us at the Enterprise Digital Transformation Exchange. Marcella, can you just tell me a little bit about your role and how it fits into the wider digital strategy at Allianz?
So I head up digital for Allianz Worldwide Care. We're the international health division for Allianz. And as part of that, then I'm part of a broader team. For Allianz, we have a renewal agenda at the moment, and one of our three pillared strategies for Allianz is to drive on the digital side. So it's a very important aspect for us, both strategically and day-to-day business case.
You're speaking on the panel at the Exchange on creating a more holistic approach to digital. Can you tell me a little bit more about what this means to you and also what you take it as to be truly digital?
It's a really good question, and I've found that actually, even within our own organisation, people have had different ideas about what digital is, a different perception. I think actually one of our first roles was to try and draw some alignment around that. But for me, if I answer it that way, for me, I think that digital is a number of things. First off, and I think this would be common among most people's thinking, it's about creating an end-to-end, easy-flowing process for the customer, taking the pain out of the transaction and taking the siloed nature of how we work in business from the customer's experience of it. But actually, I think one of the other things that's really key and sometimes missed a little bit as an opportunity is the data capture. To use those portals and those front ends as a point at which you capture data, and then you allow that data to flow freely through the organisation. And following on from that, you find other advantages. So I think that that's something that's sometimes missed. It can be, for example, to help you personalise that then end-to-end experience you've built so that it's not just smooth but also feels really for you and really individual. And also at a more strategic level helps you drive the right decisions and the agility the business is looking for. So for me, that's what digital is about and what separates it from general automation or IT.
Can you tell me about the capabilities that you are building to create as part of your digital operating model as part of the transformation?
When we started on this journey, our first port of call or our first kind of driver was around business efficiencies. For our particular business within the Allianz Group, we've been very sales focused, and as a result, I think the operations area developed some opportunities to drive efficiency, and so that has been the focus of our initial foray into digital. But what we're looking at now is really to build a kind of an end-to-end cohesive plan and roadmap, and I'm working with the board to develop that at the moment. And where we're focusing our energies today is about that data capture actually that I spoke to, but in this case for us about claims. To capture the data of the claim at the medical provider and then to allow it to flow through the business. And actually we're starting to see already many use cases for that data, for example on better management of fraud or for tighter management of a provider network and so forth. So we're seeing that story starting to emerge already for us.
Can you talk to me about what you consider the importance of company culture to be when looking at digital transformation?
Well, I think in any change transformation, any change a business is trying to affect, the culture is really important and can work really heavily against you or with you. What's interesting about digital, I think, is culture is nearly always an opportunity because actually in our day-to-day world, we're all heavily immersed in digital. And sometimes when we come to the office, we leave it at the door because our systems or our processes and so forth don't support it. Part of our renewal agenda is a meritocracy. And actually, digital is a great opportunity for us to light that up. So I think that the culture at Allianz, at any rate, is very entrepreneurial and innovative. So it's quite a supportive place for us to drive our digital plans. But it also reinforces then the culture of the meritocracy that we're trying to create. So it's kind of, they're feeding on each other. It's working really well.
And looking forward, how are you sort of setting up your organisation to future-proof it and make sure that it's more capable for innovation in the future?
I think it's best to answer that around the group, I think, because when you look to the group, we'll see there's a heavy investment in putting some of that, I suppose what I'd call capability into the business. Digital does require a new type of capability, new skill sets and so forth. So it's all about building and growing those capabilities across the organisation. We have a number of initiatives there, driving the culture to World Cafes, for example. We have have Allianz X, which is kind of like an innovation pod, and we have digital exchanges, digital factories. So there's quite a number of initiatives that we're driving, drawing people in, teaching them about digital, letting the capability go back into the business. So there's a heavy investment there, because I think the digital to be successful needs to be underpinned with those changes organisationally, those changes in capability and skill sets of people in the teams. So,
Marcella, thank you so much for joining us at the Exchange.